So I am Mexican American from the East Coast. There are some, and I went to college at the University of Pennsylvania. And I initially thought I would be a biomedical engineer. I always wanted to go to medical school, and started off in biomedical engineering, and accidentally discovered religion and philosophy through a distribution requirement my sophomore year, and switched out of that and continued doing my pre-medical studies, but became a religion philosophy major. Went directly into medical school after college at the University of Pennsylvania. And while there, I decided to take a 3-year timeout to do a Master in Divinity, focused on the philosophical components of the moral development of physicians. I went to Harvard University to do that, and then returned afterwards to medical school to finish my last 2 years, and then returned back to Harvard to do my residency in internal medicine at the Brigham and Women's Hospital. And at that time, I thought I was going to do cardiology, so I applied in a cardiology fellowship and matched in New York City. But I had a year in between fellowship, ending residency and starting fellowship, and at that point I applied to the Commonwealth Fund Fellowship in Minority Health Policy at the Harvard School of Public Health, and was accepted into the program. And I realized 6 months into the project that I really knew very little about healthcare disparities, had never really studied it in a serious, sustained academic fashion, and I then realized that I was interested in a research career. So I withdrew from my cardiology fellowship and then did 2 other research fellowships so that I could learn the skill set necessary to be able to become a researcher. Got a master's in public health at Harvard School of Public Health, and from there have stayed on as a research faculty member at Harvard Medical School, focused on cardiovascular and diabetes in the Latino community. And so one of the things I find really as I think about my educational trajectory is that I think it's really important to be really open to serendipity. You don't have to have it all figured out. Lots of opportunities occur along the way. You meet new people, you have interesting conversations, you actually then become friends with people who change your perspective in life. And what I do now, I couldn't imagine actually doing anything else. I spend 75–80% of my time doing research, and then 25% of my time seeing patients, and it's an absolutely wonderful combination that I was not able to imagine even after I had graduated from medical school. After I had finished residency, I couldn't even have conceived this career opportunity. So you really have to follow your passion and your heart, and what are the things that feel right to you, and the pursuit of studying health equity and making sure that it becomes a reality for all U.S. Latinos is really something that just gives me the energy and the excitement to continue each day.
Were there stumbling blocks along the way?
I think one of the biggest stumbling blocks was to ignore, the financial debt that I was developing at the time. As you heard, that as I previously mentioned, that I went to school and trained for about 15 years, and although I had scholarships and fellowships, I still had to live. So I had loans for living throughout that time period, and the money was becoming a significant amount of money. The debt was becoming a significant amount of money. So I worried a lot about that, and my parents, who only went to primary school up to 6th grade, had no real understanding of how to guide me through this process. Luckily, I discovered that if you do at least 50% research time, you can apply for a loan repayment program through the NIH, and they have specific programs for those who are focused in disparities research. And so I've been able to apply. It's a competitive program, but I've applied and have been able to have all of my loans paid for by the NIH. And so I think there are other opportunities for loan forgiveness that the federal government has. So I think one of the things that one should never make a prominent obstacle is the necessary finances to pursue your career development. Another obstacle, I think, that you need a lot of resilience and willingness to keep going back and finding and working on is the challenge of finding mentors. I think it's nearly impossible to make it in academics, and especially academic research, without mentors who are willing to guide you and also give you opportunities and open doors, and also influence you in ways to think broadly about your research interests, your research projects, and things that, from their perspective, having been in the field long enough, will be high impact and high yield. You can't do careers without mentors. Around mentors, I would say that you need many types of mentors. You need peer mentors, people who are going through the process with you, who may have similar backgrounds to you, who can encourage you. But I would also say you need mentors outside of your field who actually can be friend mentors, but they're more senior in terms of maybe age or career advancement, or in a different field because of the unique perspective that they can bring. And then you need content mentors, mentors who are actually working in the same field that you're doing, who take an active interest in your career and in your progress and in your career trajectory. So you definitely need multiple mentors for different things. One mentor is not enough. One person can't be everything that you'll need for all the dimensions in your life.
What advice would you give a Latino student interested in a career in public health?
I think the most important piece of advice for a student interested in public health is to really follow your passion, even if the road seems quite unclear, or it's not immediately certain to you that what you're going to embark on is what you see your life work as. And I think that's important because we grow and change over time. Our interests change over time, and as I mentioned earlier, you're introduced through different experiences in your life to new paths and new areas of development and interest. So I think the key ingredient is to be really open to the possibility that public health is a very broad field, and you can make a difference for the betterment of all through many different ways, and you just have to find the one that really fits your personality, your interests, and your sense of what you would like to accomplish in your career and in your life.